Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Unfuck Yourself podcast. I'm here with my husband, Justy, and we're recording the podcast in front of the team right now because we got to record it in front of someone. I just do better that way. Justin was like, "Why are we recording it in front of the team?" I was like, "Because I just need to yap to somebody." Anyway, we are here to talk about my birth story. Do you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here.
I brought Justin because obviously he was a part of it and I blacked out half of it. So he's here to also, we're just going to share the story and help fill in the gaps. And yeah, it was wild. What day is it? It's the 22nd. I gave birth on the 5th.
Two
What's that?
weeks and 3 days.
2 weeks and 3 days postpartum as we record this, which is crazy. I'm feeling way better now. I had like a little bit of a dark night of the soul last week, but you'll see why once I tell you the birth story. And before we go into this, obviously, let me preface this with I'm so grateful that I would choose that over something being wrong with me or the baby. Like I would choose what happened any day over something being wrong with me or the baby, and everyone's healthy, and I'm very grateful for that. And because, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, just be grateful that you have a healthy baby. Like, yes, obviously we know this. I am. I'm here to just share what happened and my emotions through it all, and then why the fuck, like why it happened, like the reflection and lesson behind it. So that is what we're doing. So just if you don't know, I had a full plan to just go unmedicated in my birth. Like I barely ever take Advil. I wanted to be fully unmedicated. Medicine freaks me out, gives me anxiety. Something like getting things injected into me, like an epidural, freaks me out, gives me anxiety. Not being able to feel my legs gives me extreme anxiety to think about. Getting operated on while awake is probably my biggest fear. And that's how it ended up. So I was like, I was like, I would rather feel the discomfort, the pain of childbirth than getting any kind of medicated or anything. I had the plan the whole time though to give birth in the hospital as like, how we talk about be prepared for like the worst case scenario and like also create the best case scenario. So I wanted to, the whole time I was going to give birth in the hospital. So that didn't like ruin any birth plans. But just to preface this story, everything that I wanted, I had basically the opposite of. So I had a hard time with that right after the fact and during because of all of the work that I put in physically and emotionally and energetically for since the day I got pregnant to have the birth I wanted. So it kind of created this feeling, which is part of the reflection, which I have a lot, is I just did all this work for nothing. And that comes up for me a lot in vocation. So that's one of the reflections that we'll get into that I was a match for. But let's just start the story. Yeah, I wanted to go unmedicated, ended up highly medicated on everything you could possibly be medicated on during birth and in a C-section. So that's what happened, and we'll share the story of how we got there. Okay, so on we went on my due date, right? To the midwife the first time.
Yeah, it was your due date. It was on June 3rd when we saw
Okay.
the first midwife, and then that's when your blood pressure was a little high. It wasn't like out of the world high. It was like 140 over 90, which was
Mm-hmm.
a lot higher than what it had been. Because the previous time we went, which was like a week before, because we towards the end of the pregnancy, you start going every single week to just make sure everything's in line and going into pregnancy the right way. And you were 110 over like 65. And then when we came in the next week, so like not I don't even think it was 5 days later, you were I think 44 over like 92. So it raised a little bit of a concern. And that's when she was like, okay, this is a pretty big delta here. Let's bring you back in tomorrow we're gonna have you pee in this cup all night and take samples, and you can elaborate on what happened after that.
Yeah, so we went to, it was on my 40-week mark. It was June 3rd, Wednesday, and we went to the midwife, and yeah, like Justin said, my blood pressure was perfect the whole pregnancy. Like never had a blood pressure problem. Like really ever. Other than like one time during a launch. Remember we took it my blood pressure and it was like so high a few years ago before we hired CO Sarah. Remember that? It was like I don't
No,
know.
I took it.
Yes. You took it.
What
I
was
was like
it?
sitting at the kitchen table like so unwell and you took my blood pressure and it was like wicked high.
Yeah, but for what it's worth, it was on the little wrist monitor.
Oh,
And I took it
so
and mine was like 183 over 120. I'm like, okay, I'm about to die. There's no
oh,
way
so
this
maybe
is
it was
right.
wrong. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah. That's why we got the new one that we have now.
We have a better one now.
Yeah. FYI, don't buy the wrist blood pressure monitors. It'll give you massive anxiety and it'll think you got to go to the hospital right away.
Yeah, get
They
the
don't
arm
work.
one. Get the arm one. Okay, never mind. Maybe that was fake. So I've never had really a blood pressure problem. So but on the way there to the midwife, I was stressed because me and Justin were talking about something random. I can't remember what it was, but it was stressing me out for really no reason. But at that point, when you're pregnant, all you care about is like thinking about having the baby. And so, like, if anyone brings up anything to you, even asking you where the fucking like scissors are in the drawer, like, you just get like, I just personally got stressed. I was like, why? How dare you even ask me any questions at all right now? Is kind of how I felt toward the end of pregnancy. So I just like was getting stressed and I was getting stressed about childbirth. I was getting stressed about like becoming a mom. Like obviously my blood pressure's a little high. So when they took it, I didn't originally freak out. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that like checks out. But then that day, the midwife, like the nurse took it and the nurse was like, ooh, girl, like, cause I see her every week there. So we're like besties. And so she was like, ooh, girl, like this is high. And I was like, oh. And then I started to like get a little anxious about it. So she was like, we'll have to check it at the end of your appointment again. Well, now I'm fucking anxious. So now it's going to still be high. It'll probably get higher. So then the midwife comes in and it's a new midwife who we haven't seen. And I think she's cool as shit and I would love her in any setting other than telling me what she told me. Cuz she's so like says it how it is up front, like, which I love, but I'm such a wimp and a weenie in medical settings that I need to be coddled. So she wasn't like very snuggly in the medical
For what it's
setting.
worth, she also is like, she goes from 0 to 100 real quick. She goes in there, she's like, hey guys, how's everything going? And she's like, okay, so I got to tell you guys exactly, like that's literally how this woman operates. She starts very calm, and then once she starts to explain, her voice, everything in her demeanor changes, and you're just like, what's about to happen? You know, you almost like get put on this like anxiety crunch as soon as she starts speaking because everything about her tempo and tone changed completely. And this is just how she does. She could be like describing something super simple, but your body, like it's a visceral reaction. You'll think that she's telling you that you're dying because of the way she like brings her delivery, which is so important. I found out in like giving birth, like the delivery of these nurses and midwives of like really delivering this information in a way that can land. This lady was not good at that particular, but she was awesome in all the other areas.
Yeah, like I would love her in any setting. Like literally any other setting, I would love the vibe, but not in that one, not in the medical setting. So she comes in and yeah, she's like, hey guys, blah, blah. And then she's like, okay, yeah, your blood pressure's high. So like, okay, I'm gonna need you're gonna pee in this jug all night. And then if you come back tomorrow and it's still high, then we're gonna have to go induce you. And so I'm already, well, now it's gonna be fucking high because I'm now freaking out about getting induced because that's my worst nightmare because if you don't know, getting induced means they pump Pitocin in you, and Pitocin is like a fake form of oxytocin, and oxytocin is what puts you into labor. Pitocin is the fake form of that, and it can cause extreme postpartum depression if you get on that. It makes contractions 100 times worse. Like it is very hard to give natural birth once there's Pitocin in you. Like it makes your contractions like way, way worse than they would be even at 10 centimeters dilated of a natural birth. So, so immediately, of course, my blood pressure is now getting higher by the end of this appointment, which is when the nurse came in to take it again. Well, she comes in to take it again, and originally the first time she took it was like 160 over. Do you remember?
Yeah, what? No, that was the next day. The next day it was 160.
Yes, but when she came to take it again, the first time it was 160 again, then she made me breathe and calm
Oh,
down.
yeah, 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 yeah. Like 160 over like 90. Maybe it was in the hundreds actually. I think it like went up quite a bit. I know the
Yeah,
next day it was 160 over 110.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Wednesday, even within like 30 minutes, it went up to like 160 over something. But I was stressed. And then we came home. Well, I'll get to that in a second. So then the nurse, she was like, "Girl, breathe, like calm down." So she made me breathe. She took it again. Then it was like back in the 140s over 90s,
Hmm.
probably. So I have to go home. I have to pee in this jug all night long because she was like, "You might have preeclampsia." And so preeclampsia is, I still like don't really understand. I really don't think I had it because to have it, it's not just high blood pressure, it's your organs are like declining. Yeah, organ
Yeah.
failure. Yeah. And then there's protein in your pee and like all this other stuff. And I didn't have protein in my pee. My organs weren't failing, but they didn't seem to like care. So about that part, they just anyway. So she was like, you might have preeclampsia." So I have such bad medical anxiety, you guys, that like I hear that and I go down a fucking rabbit hole on ChatGPT. That makes my blood pressure higher. Yeah, immediate panic. I don't want to have to get induced. So we go home and I'm peeing in this thing all night. And we take my blood pressure at home. It was like 133 over something. So it
Yeah.
dropped.
Hmm.
Um, but then of course I'm like so anxious. I don't sleep. I barely sleep. So I'm awake already the next day, Thursday at like 3:30 a.m. And then we go, they're like, and she told us on Wednesday, she's like, "Pack your bags when you come tomorrow." Like basically she's like, "You're going to the hospital tomorrow." Like basically she was like, "You're getting induced." So we brought our bags with us to the midwife appointment then the next day on Thursday. Brought the pee jug. It was spilled in the car. Pee. It's fine.
All over the middle console as I was driving, got on my arm. I'm like, okay, we're we're doing this.
I'm like, this is just
This
the
is our
start
this
of
is our
it.
pre-introduction to just
Yeah.
being mommy and daddy.
Like, get used to getting peed on. So we, we
Uh,
then get to the midwife. I'm just fucking so anxious. Like, I know my blood pressure is gonna be high. I'm not even trying to fool anyone. I am so anxious when we get there, and I'm dizzy because I'm so anxious. Like I am just, I'm fucked. I just already know at this point I'm fucked because I know my blood pressure is gonna be high.
you know what it reminded me of? Here's how I know when Allie's super anxious. One time, me, her, and our friend Camille, we were on the very top floor of this restaurant in Dallas. It's the highest restaurant like you can go to in all of Dallas. And we were going down, and I had a cup of, at that time, I was drinking coffee all the time. So I had a cup of coffee. And we get in this elevator. We're on floor like 72. And as soon as we get in, zoom, the elevator starts to fall, like stall out. And I'm like, oh my God, my coffee starts hitting. And I'm like shaking a little bit. Ali's over there, literally. Once we realize we're stuck in an elevator on the top of this like enormous building, Ali's over there sitting in the corner, and I'm like shaking, trying to calm her down. I'm like, baby, it's okay. We're gonna be just fine. And she's just sitting there like locked, just not saying a word. And I've seen her do this like maybe two or three times since we've been together. But when she gets really, really, really anxious, there's no like, all right, baby, let's breathe. Let's focus on our breath. You got this. It's like, don't fucking touch me. Don't talk to me. Don't get away from me. And that's what I saw with Ali going into Friday or Thursday, which was June 3rd, and getting her blood pressure. There was no calming her down, no preparing her. like, hey, everything's gonna be okay. It was just like it felt like we were right back in that elevator, and she was just not okay at all.
Yeah. No, there's no talking to me. Or like if someone tells me to like breathe or like I'm like it makes me more anxious. Like I can't. So, yeah. So, we're walking in. That's basically my state. And it was Thursday. It was June 4th and we go into the birthing center room because at Fort
Hmm.
Worth Midwife and Co there's a birthing center too where you can go give birth at also. So she takes us to the birthing center room and I'm like that's kind of weird. Like are you going to make me give birth in here? Like what are we doing? But I don't know why we were in there. I think it was just busy that day. But we go in there and we have this really like super funny and cool nurse. But again, I'm like delivery. Like, gotta work on that. So again, super cool in any other setting. Loved her the other day when we were back in there. Like it's, but again, I'm a weenie, so you gotta be like extra snuggly telling me medical things. So we go in there she like the other thing I hate is when I'm anxious and people try and just talk to me to get me not anxious. I'm like, I'm gonna get more anxious the more you try and talk to me right now. Like just take my blood pressure. So she comes in and she's trying to like be fun and talk to me and get me to calm down. I'm like, it's making it worse. I'm like, I know what you're doing because I know what she's doing. So I'm like reading her mind. I'm like, oh, she's trying to make me calm. And so I'm like, there's so much pressure on this blood pressure thing, you know, like everyone's putting so much pressure on this fucking blood pressure test. So and that makes me anxious because I don't like it. So then she takes my blood pressure. It's fucking like what was it, 160, what?
Super high, like 165 over 110.
Which is like, go to the hospital for
Yeah.
anyone. Like, go to the hospital. That's what your blood pressure is. So she, I, I start to black out at this point. Did she take it again?
Yeah, she took it 4 times. Ali, Ali made sure she took it like 4 times. Like, can we do it again? And then after the fourth one, she's like, okay, this is going to have to be our last one. Usually, once we have the consistent readings this many times, they're not wrong. But let's just breathe. Let's take it one more time. And then she took it the fourth time, and I think it dropped down to like high 150s, like over 105, but it was still way up there. And again, like this lady, she's in there and she's talking about, oh, my daughter had the same thing. She was kind of go and have her own natural birth and had all this crazy shit happen. I'm like, lady, I know you have the best intentions ever, but probably not the right time to bring up that story as she just got her fourth blood pressure test. It's like close to 160 over 110, and the sweetest lady ever. And I'm like, these nurses, I don't know if they have this, but there needs to be like a literal, like a delivery communication certification they go through as far as how to deliver information to women. Because you could get 10 different nurses, 10 different midwives, and every single one of them will have a totally different approach. And some may work and some may not work at all, as far as like making myself included feel at ease. And this lady, like you said, had the best heart. She was so sweet. She had the best intentions too, trying to explain what her daughter went through. So Allie had some like comfort around it, but it didn't work. It didn't really land in that moment.
No, because like you got to think I'm elevator status anxiety level right now. And so then she's like tell me and it's not like a quick story. It was like it felt like a 20-minute story. It was probably a 10-minute story. Maybe it was 5, I don't know. It felt like 10 minutes at least. And she was going on and on for 10 minutes telling me her daughter's whole birth story about how she wanted to go to unmedicated. She got preeclampsia. She had to be induced. Then she has ended up in a C-section. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So my whole world's crashing down at this point because you got to think, I worked so hard physically, mentally, emotionally, reflection-wise, making sure I wasn't a match to any of this. And then I'm like sitting there like, oh my God, I'm getting induced. Like, I know what happens when you get induced. Like, I know where this goes. And so I'm just processing already, like, what the fuck? And then I'm hearing about her daughter's story. And I told her, I was like, well, I still want to go unmedicated. And she's like, good luck. And it literally, like, I still want to like knock in an epidural, I should say, because obviously I was gonna get medicated because they were gonna induce me. But I was like, I still don't want an epidural, and she was like, "Good luck," like no, like laughed at me, and which honestly gave me more drive to keep going, which we'll get to. So then she had the midwife come in, another new midwife who I never met before, and at this point, I'm bawling my eyes out. And the midwife comes in and I'm like, hey, I'm crashing out. Like, nice to meet you. I'm Allie. I'm just like hysterical, like freaking the fuck out. Because also, medical things freak me. Like, the last thing I wanted was shit injected into me. So I'm freaking out. The midwife who comes in was like super snuggly and nice. And, but she was like, you have preeclampsia. Like, you need to go get induced right now. And again, I still to this day do not think I had preeclampsia. I think I was experiencing high blood pressure.
I think whenever I inquired into it, they're like, you didn't technically have the extreme side effects of preeclampsia, but if we had waited, let's say another week when your body was actually ready to give birth, there could have been a much higher probability that you did have like protein in your urine, your kidneys and your livers were starting to like break down. I think that was the big cue of like, okay, she's got the signs of preeclampsia. We have high blood pressure, but there's also this thing called gestational diabetes. Is that what it is?
Hypertension, gestational
Hypertension?
hypertension.
Yeah, something like that. You learn so much in this process. Once you go and have a baby, you learn so many things. You're like, I feel like I know the lingo now, you know? And but when I was doing research on it, she seemed like she had that, but what they kept saying was like, yes, that could be a possibility, but if her blood pressure stayed that high for another week and y'all tried to wait it out, then like it could get really bad really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not to say that anxiety wasn't causing it, but it's like if for the slight chance that it did stay that elevated, it could have been dangerous for both you and the baby.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. So I have so many questions about that I'll ask my questions about that later. So I'm like, couldn't you have just put me on a blood pressure medicine? Anyway, at this point, I had this in here's where I'm not going to say I went wrong here because I think anyone in this situation would have listened because like it's not just you, it's your baby. But I had an intuitive thing of like he's coming June 7th, which was 3 days later. Like that's when he like a natural way he would have came. And I knew I'd be okay if I didn't do that. Like deep down I had an intuitive knowing that everyone would have been okay. And but you can't at that point like you can't even it's like everyone's telling you to go to the hospital, like, and there's signs and there's your blood pressure's high and you're emotional and it's not even your like life, it's someone else's life. That's your son that you grew for 10 months, you know? So it's like, I'm not like mad at myself or I should have done this. Like no one would have, honestly, like, unless you've had like training of doing this before in the past and it worked out, like you just like, you can't like everyone's telling you to go to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So but that's one of the reflections is the rest of my plan went to shit because I didn't trust myself over everyone else. And I literally teach trust yourself over everyone else. And I literally preach that everywhere. But when you're in a highly emotional, like I can do it with business, no problem. But when you're in a highly emotional like setting like that, like you literally can't. Like you could be doing this work for like 30 years and someone else's life is now like quote at risk is what they're saying and your organs are going to shut down is what they're saying and that you know what I mean? So it's like and there's no one on your side really going oh no, you'll be fine, because no one wants to be responsible for saying that either, you know? Like, you probably might have also felt like I'd be okay, but like, who wants to be responsible for saying that and then like something happens, you know?
Yeah. It's like they prepare you very well for the worst case scenarios
Mm-hmm.
in that like department. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like to see, no matter how intuitive you are, this is a baby, your baby right here. It's not even another person. Yes, another person makes it challenging, but like your baby, which is love you've never experienced on any scale to be able to have like your child. And so I feel like all intuitive hits are just completely out the window for both of us. Like I couldn't think on an intuitive because it was incredibly emotional for me. It was super dense, and it's like you really do have to put your trust into these experts. And uh, looking back on it, it's like, yeah, we could have done this, we may could have done that, but like we did what we had to do in that moment in order to make sure like you were okay and the baby was okay. And so regardless
Mm-hmm.
of what intuitive information was there, it was just almost like it was thrown out the window because that superseded everything else, you know?
Totally. And it's such like a lesson too. And like, I wouldn't change how it went because I learned so much and I got to face all my biggest fears. And so now I feel like, whatever, I can go do anything. I can get stuck in an elevator again and be fine. But,
You'd probably rock an elevator now. If you got stuck in an
oh,
elevator after what you just went through,
that's
you'd be
nothing.
thriving. You'd be like singing lullabies and
Yeah.
just
I'd be
having a
like,
good old time.
this is fun. Yeah. Not that I would change it, but the lesson when I like sat with it and really like looked in, the lesson there was like, because I think this will come up in my career or like finances in my life of like everyone's going to tell me that I should do something, but I know I shouldn't. And I need to like listen to it. Like the whole goal of being like a, I don't know, like a leader of whatever you're teaching or whatever you're doing is like there should be you should be able to have a million people telling you that's a bad idea, but if you have an intuitive pull that's a good idea, like you need to do it. And
Hmm.
so that is one of my lessons there and reflections of I've like let other people recently tell me like what to do financially or like in career, and I've like listened because I like trust them, or I've listened because like I think that like maybe they know better or whatever. But then I always know what the fuck to actually do, and then I end up like doing it and it works anyway. So that was like that reflection essentially. But in that medical setting, that's like such high level maybe medical stuff doesn't scare some people. For me, you might as well like I might as well be dying like to be in that setting. Like I it freaks me out. So that was kind of that lesson there. Not that I was supposed to, I truly don't think I was supposed to like listen to my intuition in that setting, because like how the fuck would you when you're so emotional, it's someone else's life involved, like, but I that was the lesson that I was supposed to get out of it, like for sure. um so then we go right from the midwife to the hospital, and on the way to the hospital I'm like calling my doula, whose name is also Allie, and crying to her. She's so awesome. She's such a good doula. Like, she just really validated my feelings the whole time, and also like supported like just whatever I wanted to do, while also sharing like her, because I would ask her like, what do you think? Um and she was just really good. Like, I called her, told her what was happening. We get to the hospital. The hospital's like 5 minutes from the midwife. We get to the hospital, and I don't remember what happened. What
We go
happened?
straight into the like we skipped triage and went right into I'm pretty sure the last room available. So the nurses were telling us this because we had a full moon, I think like 3 or 4 days before Roman was born. And apparently full moons like bring out the babies and push a lot of women into labor earlier than expected. And so the whole floor was completely booked up and we got the last room. And in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute. What happens if if this room wasn't available and this baby has to come out, you know? I never got an answer on that, but it definitely crossed my mind because as we were there too, remember they were telling us there was like people waiting to get into rooms. And so the whole process you could tell is like speed. They're trying to like get people in and out of rooms, which is something else that kind of sat with me wrong with some of this because I felt like they were rushing things. But yeah, to answer your question, right when we got there, we went straight into the hospital room. And then we waited around for like, we had a nurse that came in and got you all hooked up with the IVs and everything and the port that you had. And then we waited around for like probably 2 or 3 hours after that point.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know where we would have gone. Like, what if that room was
I
full?
know. It's like, what's plan B here? You know,
Yeah, what the fuck?
y'all got a spare office room around here we can
Yeah.
borrow.
So yeah, okay. I did not know we were waiting around that long. But yeah, we didn't even get to triage. They said go to labor and delivery right away. So which I've heard is great because I heard triage can take long sometimes.
They brought up a wheelchair for Ali, because they like convey all the information as far as like her high blood pressure. And it wasn't a normal one. It was this big ass. You remember the wheelchair they brought? It was like a huge gray one.
Like not until now, but
And,
yes,
and
now I
she brought it
remember.
up, and Ali's like, "Do I have to get on that thing?" And she's like, "Yeah, you have to."
She goes, "Well, your blood pressure's really high, so you have to." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Ali's like, "It's not my frequency."
I go, "This wheelchair isn't my frequency."
I'm like, "All right."
Intuitively, no.
She's coming around. She's with us now.
Like obviously, I was making a joke. Like it was a joke.
That's
I don't think I'm better than the
does your team
wheelchair.
not know about your saying that you say now? It's not my frequency.
No, I was okay. Backstory to that: I was getting a lymphatic face massage from Robin. Her brand is the Dallas Facialist, and she was telling me about how she once was going to Vegas for her friend's wedding, and they were all taking a shuttle to somewhere, and she was like, "No, I'll be taking my own car. The shuttle's not my frequency." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna use that." The wheelchair that in that moment was not my frequency of what I wanted my birth to be like.
At least give her a fancy wheelchair, guys. She's about to go through the craziest time of her life here. Let
I
her
just
go
like
in with style, you know?
I wanted nothing to do with anything medical. I was like, can we not? But they made me sit in it. So they made me sit in that to go to the room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's their protocol. You have to once you have high blood pressure like that.
So then they gave me like like the hospital gown to put on, and I said no. Let me put on my special pajamas that I brought, so I put on those. And then they hooked me up to the thing where they monitor the baby's heart rate, they monitor my contractions. Um then they took my blood pressure. Oh, then when they took my blood pressure this time, it was like 133, right? Over something.
Yeah, it came down.
Yeah, it came down. So then I was
Hmm.
like, see? I was like, I'm just anxious. And then they gave me a pill to take to soften my cervix.
Hmm.
They gave me a pill. Okay, the timestamps are very important here. So this is like Thursday at like 1 p.m. maybe. They give me a pill. And it starts to make you like cramp. Like and like it starts to induce labor. So it starts to soften your cervix and make you cramp, but it's like nothing. Like I'm just sitting there chilling. I start to like lock in. I'm like, all right, I'm locking in. I'm giving birth without an epidural on Pitocin. Let's fucking do it. Whatever. Okay. I'm locked in. Well, I'm like just sitting there on the ball. We have Young Sheldon on, not Young Sheldon, Big Bang Theory on, watching it. Like we're just chilling.
Highly recommend that one if you're giving birth, by the way.
It's just such a great, good
That's got to be Roman's
show.
favorite show now forever. We listened
It
to it
is.
for 48 hours straight while Ali was in the hospital.
It was just playing for 48 hours on the laptop. So we're watching Young Sheldon, and then my mom, my sister, and Tammy, Justin's mom, all come in the room. And I didn't like invite anyone in, but I also didn't like say, don't come in. So everyone came in. But I just like wasn't down for that at the moment. Like I just was like, no, everyone needs to leave. So, and it made me anxious. So then they left, and we had the blood pressure thing on my arm. And so it was taking my blood pressure just every 30 minutes. It was just like programmed to take my blood pressure. So then it went back up because that made me anxious. Then I was like telling Justin, I was like, get everyone out of here. And so then they left, but they went to the waiting room. And then I don't know how long until, when did they put the balloon up me?
That wasn't until the nighttime.
Oh, okay. So I'm just chilling with this like pill that's softening my cervix until nighttime. So then my favorite midwife was on call there at nighttime. She was our nighttime nurse or a nighttime midwife at the hospital. She comes in and I was so happy to see her. And she's like, okay, we're going to put this balloon up you. It's going to dilate you to 4 centimeters. Once it dilates you to 4 centimeters, it's going to fall out. She's like, sometimes this takes like 12 hours. And I said, 12 fucking hours? Are you joking me?
And it's supposed to be really, she was saying it can be very painful and uncomfortable too. For like 12 straight hours.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and I'm in contact with my doula this whole time. I don't want her to come yet because like I'm not like in like active labor, and I want her to save her energy for when I'm in active labor. I'm like letting her know what's up and like when to come. So I'm like, okay, they're putting the balloon in me. She's like, okay, cool. So we put the balloon up me, and I'm like, okay, I'm just at this point, like once I'm locked in, I'm locked in. So I was locked in at this point. Like I'm no longer really, I'm not anxious anymore. I did get anxious the next day again, but we'll get there. But I'm just locked in. So they put the balloon up me. I start going from like just cramping to like full blown contractions. There's no in between. There's just like cramping to full blown, like, holy fuck, like I'm having full blown contractions. So I go and I sit backwards on the toilet because they call it the dilation station. When you're sitting backwards on the toilet, apparently dilate really quick. So I sit there and I'm just like working through contractions. Justin's there helping. My mom is in the room at this point again, helping. And this is maybe like 9-10 p.m. This balloon comes out of me in an hour and a half. So I'm thinking this looks promising. Okay. Like I dilated 4 centimeters in an hour and a half. They say it usually takes 12 hours. Like, go me. So I'm like, this looks promising. And I start having high hopes. Well, that's where I fucked up because I think I got a little too excited about it. So I tell Allie, the doula, I'm like, oh my God, the balloon came out an hour and a half later. She's like, yay. And then they're like, okay, let's start Pitocin. So they hook me up in my IV to Pitocin and they crank it up to a 2. But I don't let them start that until Allie gets there. So I tell Allie, hey, am I missing something?
No, this is spot on. Yeah.
Okay. So I tell Allie, I looked back at my texts. I don't remember texting you guys, the team that I gave birth. I have no memory of any of it. Anyway, we'll get there. So I text Allie. I'm like, okay, we can start Pitocin, but don't start it until she gets here because I know what's about to happen because I know they're about to go from 0. It was already a lot, but to go like up real quick. So she gets there. I'm like, pump me with a fucking Pitocin. And I just do it. So we started 2 and like, I can work through these. So then they pump it up to a 4. I'm like, okay, I can work through these. Then it's at a 6. I'm like, okay. And I start like, I'm like, okay, I'm literally dying. I'm getting pumped at like level 6 to 8 with Pitocin, no epidural. Remember, Pitocin is going to make you have far, far worse contractions than you would ever have just naturally. This is now from 2 a.m. to the next day at like, when did I beg for the epidural? 1 p.m.?
Yeah, I think you did it for 13 hours, 13 or 14 hours straight.
Yeah. So I'm on level like 8 of Pitocin, no epidural for 13 hours straight in the worst fucking pain of my life. I had back labor too. So my back in contractions was like, I can't even describe this pain to you. And I am like, at this point, I've been up for like 30 hours straight. I've had no food. And so I'm like, okay, check how dilated I am now at this point. It's been 13 hours of Pitocin. I'm like, and Allie, the doula who she is so knowledgeable. She's been doing this for decades. She literally definitely thought I was at like a 7 or 8 centimeters dilated. You got to be 10 to give birth. Because she goes, Allie, the way you're sounding right now, like you sound like you're almost there. Like we can do it. Keep going. Because I started begging for that epidural. Usually when you beg for that epidural, you're like pretty close to, yeah, you're like usually around like 7 to 9 centimeters dilated. And I was not. So she was like, you're definitely in like very active labor. Like I would think you're on like 7 centimeters dilated. So I'm like, okay, great. Let's get the midwife in here to check me. Well, the midwife comes in. She checks me. She goes, yeah, you're at 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters, still where I was with the balloon. And so 13 hours of Pitocin contractions to still be 4 centimeters dilated. To then find out from this other midwife that, yeah, sometimes the balloon fucks you because your body doesn't naturally go to 4 centimeters. It forces it to, so your body doesn't know how to keep going. And I said, oh, okay, great, perfect. Good to know that now. So then, perfect, thank you. And so, here's where it started to get real fuzzy. Oh, so then I'm just like, I just cried and I begged and I said, give me the epidural. Words that I never thought would come out of my mouth. I like begged for that thing. I was so excited. I've never been more excited to not feel my legs in my body. It hurt so bad. And I remember because Allie was helping me work through contractions and I told Justin I wanted food. I don't know how I thought I was going to eat food because my contractions were like literally 1 to 2 minutes apart and they were so painful. And even in between them, I was in pain. So it's like, I don't even know when I was supposed to eat the eggs that I had him order. But I had him order food. And I just remember this memory of him like asking what I wanted. And I got so annoyed about it. But I asked you to order me food. I remember asking you to order me food. And then you asked me what I wanted. And I was so annoyed.
Remember, I also, during that time, whenever the doula got there, her mom ended up staying with us. So there was one like couch in the delivery room. And so I had this tiny thin sheet of, I mean, might as well have been like some toilet paper wrapped around me. As I'm on the floor, I don't even think I had a pillow. And I remember Allie saw me on the floor and saw that I probably got like 30 minutes of sleep that night. She saw that I was like trying to nap just a little bit because the doula was there taking care of Allie. And, you know, it was my opportunity to just kind of slide away for a minute. And she came out and saw me on there and she's like, oh, hell no. Nuh-uh. Get your ass up. Yeah. Like, this ain't happening. And then whenever she was getting the Pitocin too, another funny story, she was telling you guys about the, what'd you call that station? The what station? The
dilation station.
So Allie was like, all right, we're gonna come up with our happy place as she was going through, because her contractions were very, very intense. She was making like noises I've never heard. I mean, and they were very consistent, probably every like 2-3 minutes max. When they came in, it was like she would feel it coming on, like, okay, hold on. And then it just like zoom, got super, super, super intense, and then kind of started easing off. And Allie was like, all right, we're gonna come up with the happiest place you can think of. Allie, you ready? Like, really just close your eyes, trying to take her through like a little meditation. And within like 5 seconds, Allie's like, I got it. She's like, okay, what's your happy place? Allie goes, the toilet, the dilation station. So she was on this toilet for hours and just loving it. She was thriving. She had her phone right there. She had her drink. She had her snacks. I don't even know if you had snacks, but you had everything she needed, like on top of the toilet bowl. And she just fell in love with this spot. And when we tried to get her to really like name her happy place, I was thinking it was going to be like Bora Bora or somewhere cool that we've gone on a vacation. Nope, it was just the toilet, the dilation station. It brought in a good laugh, a different set of energy during that time to the intensity.
I literally forgot I said that. That's probably so disgusting. I like literally had just my drink on the toilet and I didn't care. I was just on the toilet I was on the toilet twice. I was on the toilet for like 2 hours with the balloon. Then I was back on the toilet for like 3 hours with Allie while I was on Pitocin, like
Hmm.
hooked up to my Pitocin at
You
level
know
fucking 8.
what I noticed too is like if you have it cracks a woman open more than I've ever seen. Whenever you're in labor and like your body, it does you don't even care after a while. It's like whatever's happening, I don't whatever. Like this nurse I've never met can see my boobs out, like see my butt, like my butt cheeks, doesn't matter. I'm fully there and it's like nothing else in the world matters other than me bringing out this baby. And I noticed that with you. So like you being on the toilet, these things I would have never imagined in my mind, you just like loving and being so open to it. And I've even noticed it since then, since having the baby, it's like there's a difference in
I'm like,
like what you
whatever.
went through changed you for sure in so many different ways. Like what used to gross you out, I feel like doesn't gross you out near as much anymore because of just the whole experience.
Yeah. Because, oh my God, I forgot to share this part. Before they started Pitocin, my blood pressure was like still, I don't know, it was like in the 140s or something. They fucking tried to put me on magnesium, which magnesium sounds like fine.
Oh
No, no, no.
yeah.
This magnesium would make you bedridden for 2 days
Two
straight.
days. Yeah.
You would have to get that epidural. This was before I got Pitocin, so like I was like, fuck the epidural. Um, and because it would stop you from having like a stroke if your blood pressure got too high. And I denied it, and I had to sign this thing that I denied medical advice. Like they were like, I had to like sign this thing, which was like super weird. I don't know what made me think of that, but that was also part of the story before I got Pitocin. I was like, I'm not gonna have. First, I'm like testing from a match to a stroke, and I wasn't. But so then I just said no thanks for this, because then you can't move around, you can't leave the bed. Oh, but then I know what made me think of this. They wouldn't even let me walk to the bathroom at first, so they put a freaking that toilet next to the bed, and I could
Hmm.
only get, yeah, a bedpan, and I had to get out of the bed and just like pee in the toilet right there, like just in front of Justin. And like I don't even pee in front of him at home. Like I close the door. I'm like, get away. If I have to poop, I literally go to the opposite end of the house where from where he is. Like,
I'm convinced she doesn't poop. I'm trying to like catch her in the act, and I can't ever catch her. She's so good at just like being so sneaky with her poops.
literally
So stay
exactly,
tuned.
literally
I'm gonna catch her one of
exactly.
these days.
No, you're supposed to think I don't poop. Like that's, yeah, women, like I don't poop. So yeah, so then it was like real humbling to just like I had to pee in a bedpan for like an hour. Then they let me go to the bath. It was like so weird. I don't know.
Well, and then after the balloon, remember like the blood, and there's a lot that was happening,
Yeah.
a lot that was coming out, and it was yeah, like I said, it cracked you open, like the little things that like you would typically care about. It's like doesn't even phase you.
I had to pee so bad. And so they wouldn't let me get up, but then they didn't bring the freaking bedpan right away. I was like, somebody let me pee. It was so not freeing. So then anyway, fast forward again. It's now Friday at 1 2 p.m. I've spent 13 hours on Pitocin contractions to only be still 4 centimeters dilated from where I started the Pitocin contractions. And at that point, if I was at even 6 or 5.5, I would have kept going. I would have been like, I would have had some motivation to keep going. But at this point, the pain, I cannot describe the pain of this to you. And then to not have anything like change from that was just so defeating. And I was so tired and I was so hungry. And so I was like, fuck this. And I was like, give me the epidural. And I was begging for the epidural. And at that point, everyone, like Allie was like, not trying to talk me out of it. She was probably like, yeah, you should get it. She was like, you'll probably your body will relax. You'll dilate way easier. So I got the epidural. I couldn't look at it, but I just remember, and I barely remember this part because I was so, one, drugged out on Pitocin at this point for 14 hours. Two, I'm not looking at this fucking needle. Three, I have to disassociate because I can't think about that I'm getting an epidural because I'll start to freak out. But I remember these like two epidural bros were like in there just talking about random shit. And I was so annoyed about it. I'm like, just shut the fuck up. Not, like literally not the epidural bros.
They came in there talking about like they were in a fitness competition. Remember that? These were two
No.
like finance bros coming in. Their hats were backwards. Like it was like out of a movie, it seemed like, to be honest with you. I'm like, this can't be real. These are the ones like putting an epidural in my wife right now. I'm like, is there someone else that we can alternate? They're like, yeah, dude, what do you think? This guy thinks he can beat me in a fitness competition. He's like, do you think he can? And I'm like, this is not the time. Allie's over there just, ooh. I'm like, please, guys, we could step out and talk about your fitness competition.
You can tell they're so desensitized because I'm in there like, like screaming
Yeah, it doesn't even
through
phase them.
contractions.
Doesn't even phase them at
They're
all.
unfazed. They're like,
Yeah.
sit still. I'm like, oh yeah, let me just sit still real quick.
I was amazed you're able to sit so still with contractions as they were doing the epidural. That blew my mind.
No, I had to lock in. It was, and then it makes you like arch your back in some weird way, like hunch over. You got to sit still, and you're having these awful contractions. Oh my god. Anyway, I bit my mom during one of the contractions. I like didn't even. I thought I bit the nurse, but I bit my mom. I didn't even realize she has a bruise. Oh my god. So anyway, I now have the epidural. I have to like, then I ask for an anxiety pill because I can't deal with the fact I have an epidural in me because I'm start freaking out of like, what if my leg feeling never comes back? Like, what if I get paralyzed? Like, I start freaking the fuck out that I have the epidural. So I ask for anxiety medicine. And there's one I've taken before that I know sits well with me, but I couldn't take that because of being pregnant. So they gave me an Ambient, which made me hallucinate. I'm laying in the fucking bed now. I can't feel shit. I have the epidural. I'm on Ambient now too. So now I'm on epidural, I'm on Pitocin, I'm on fucking Ambient. I'm just like, well, I'm already drugged. Just give me the fucking anxiety pill at this point. Like, help me out. So I take an Ambient. And I'm like, okay, I can finally like go to sleep. Maybe you hear the stories where people get the epidural, they go to sleep, they wake up 10 centimeters dilated, ready to give birth. I'm thinking, let's do that. So I'm like, okay, give me the Ambient. So I take this Ambient. And I remember young Sheldon being on. Justin, my mom, my sister, Tammy, and Allie, the doula, are just all sitting on the couch. I'm high on an epidural. My sister comes. She's like the cutest little sister ever. She washes my face for me. She's doing like a facial for me because my makeup's on for 30 hours at this point. She then brings a coloring book and she's coloring and asking me what color to color the things in the color. Like she was being like the cutest, snuggliest sister, just like being there for me. Well, I'm like start to hallucinate on this Ambient. And so I'm like hearing things, I'm seeing things, I'm full blown in a different fucking dimension. I'm like, now that I've experienced drugs, I don't understand why people take them because I hated every moment of it. I'm like, get me out. I hate it. So I'm like, young Sheldon's playing, and I'm like, I feel like I am like, I've never taken this, but what's the thing where you like trip out on like acid or something? Is it acid? What makes you like go to a whole different LSD? Yeah. I feel like I'm on fucking LSD or mushrooms. Not that I've taken any of those, but that's what what it feels like. And I'm just like in a whole other world, hearing things, hearing music, seeing things. I have no idea what any of you guys are doing on the couch. Like, I don't know what's going on. So anyway, then I'm on the epidural, and this is going on from like 2 p.m. to like 9 p.m. I'm hallucinating. I don't sleep, but I'm like relaxed at least. Like at least the Ambient, made me also relax while I'm hallucinating. And then they come in, and I'm like, please check how dilated I am now. It's like 9:30. I'm like getting all these cervical checks. I don't give a fuck at this point. So they check me again. 4 centimeters still. I said, great. Love it. Awesome. And then what happened from there? Like, this is where it started to go real dark for me. Because
That's
now,
when you
like,
were
I
like,
got there at Thursday at 12 p.m. It's now Friday at 9 p.m. and I'm still 4 centimeters dilated
and you
on
haven't
a lot of
slept
drugs.
like at all. Haven't
I
slept.
went,
You're on Ambien. You haven't slept at all at that point either. I think
no,
you napped a little bit, but I don't think you like slept more than like 30 minutes at a time.
my nap was a hallucination from
Yeah.
Ambien.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And like
was,
people take Ambien to trip out by not sleeping, and you weren't sleeping. So like you went full blown like Ambien trip for sure.
yeah, yep,
And I didn't even
100%.
realize that was happening. She was very quiet about it as she was hearing voices and seeing visuals. I
Yeah.
wish I would have known so I could you know, like what's going on? What are you seeing
You
right now?
know, it's nothing out of the ordinary, but it was freaking me out that I couldn't like control it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like it wasn't natural.
Once you got once they did this is when what was her name? The Hicks lady, the one who gave the C-section, what was her name?
Candace?
Candace. This is when she came in, right? Is this the part of the story we're at?
Yes. Oh, so the midwife who I had on Wednesday who was like just very
Zero
like
to 100.
0 to
This
100
lady. Yeah.
was the one who then was here at this time on Friday at 9 p.m.
Whenever that happened, that's when you were like, fuck it, give me the C-section.
No,
It was a similar epidural reaction. You're like, I I can't
just
do
give
this
me a
anymore. Like
C-section.
let's go. She actually to think about this, she once she had gone through all of her contractions and was not dilating at all past 4 centimeters. Remember, you had asked to get a
On
C-section.
Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursday. You're like, can we just skip this part? Like, I feel like I'm order like you knew it was coming. There
I
was
knew
an
it was
innate,
coming.
like intuitive hit
Hmm.
of like, okay, C-sections is it's coming. Can I just skip all the shit that I'm gonna have to go through for y'all to determine that and get it now? And the midwives are like, no, that's not how this works. We're
They go,
not
that's aggressive.
that's
No,
aggressive, yeah.
I begged what the one midwife who we always saw, who we knew, who was there Thursday. I begged her. I was like, just give me a C-section. I know before I even got Pitocin. Like, I
Hmm.
literally was like, I know where this is going to end up. We can just skip a lot of pain and just give me a C-section. She's like, I wouldn't think you need a C-section. Like, that's a little aggressive. Like, we can give you one if you really want, but like, I don't think you'll need it.
Hmm.
I fucking knew I knew I was gonna need it because this. Fast forward to now Friday at 9 p.m. The other
And the
midwife.
D cell was happening too. So this is when the D cell started happening. So she came in and the C-section got brought up because they put this thing on her that like measured her contractions to see the intensity. Originally, we were just seeing that she was having contractions, but we didn't know how intense they were.
They couldn't measure the intensity, so they
Yeah.
just shoved something else up my vagina because they haven't shoved
Yeah.
up enough to measure now the intensity of them.
Hmm. And how numb you are too. You're like, yeah, whatever. It's just like, sure, let's do it.
Oh yeah.
And we started seeing the intensity and they were like close to being off the chart. And there's like two screens on the same screen, but two different layers. One of the layers is the intensity of the contractions, and the other one is like the baby's heart. And as she was having the contractions, we started seeing what's called like D cells. So the baby's heart, whenever she would have these intense contractions, would start like dipping and then come back up. And we noticed it with most of her contractions. And that's like, it's just not a good sign. It means the baby's not, it's not liking the contractions. It's not liking like what's happening inside the uterus. And usually means like there needs to be some type of intervention if it can't come back to stabilize. So at 9:30, that's when she came in, told you that, like, hey, okay, we're gonna I think it was 8:30 because we needed 2 hours to 10:30 to see like what our plan was. Then we could readjust and determine if like, okay, is a C-section what we need to go into, or do we need to like continue trying to have, this vaginal birth? Uh, and then 30 minutes later, we were waiting. We're like, okay, we've got 2 hours. And the contractions were coming quicker and faster and heavier and more intense and just coming through very consistently. So like, let's give it 2 hours and see if anything changes. We'll check your dilation again at that point, and then we'll make a move from there. And that's when 30 minutes later, you can pick up the story there, or the OBGYN, the doctor there came in and was like, no, we're not waiting. Like this is not normal. This is not good. The baby's heart rate doing what it's doing. We need to get you in a C-section, emergency C-section ASAP.
And at that point, I literally was like, I don't remember. I don't remember how I
You were
felt.
pretty out at that point. You were, yeah, that, and then we were just like, it doesn't sound like we have a choice. There's not, and this is when for me, it seemed like very like rushed. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. We just were told by our midwife we have 2 hours. Now, 30 minutes later, you're coming in here and telling us we need to go do a
It's an
C-section.
emergency.
All
Yeah.
the nurses are saying that there's like people waiting for rooms. I'm like, this feels like we're like just being like cattle being pushed out of this room almost, like hold on a second. Let us talk about it. And so we talked about it for like 30 minutes and started we were like doing research on it and seeing like how common is that for the contractions and the baby's heart rate to dip like that and come back up. And nothing was pointing towards like good news on it. So they were very rational with what they were wanting us to do. And then she came back in and Ali was like, all right, fuck it. Let's just go. Take me in now. And then that's when the C-section process started.
I don't remember any of that part. I remember being wheeled out to
Oh, it was
go to.
so sad. She was like, am I going to be okay? She was being wheeled out by like the medical team. And just like it made all of us cry. My mom was in there, Kiki was in there, and her mom. And I'm just like, Ali, like literally, she looks back at us. She's like, I'm gonna be okay, right? And I'm like, oh my God, this is so hard to see. Like, just your wife going through this, and you can't really do anything about it. And then that's when it took like 30 minutes, 45 minutes for me to get called back in there. And then that's when it all started.
Yeah, so I remember them wheeling me out. And I remember before I went in there, I looked at everyone. I was like, "You think I should do this?" And everyone's like, "Yes, go get the baby out." And so I remember getting wheeled out, but it was like, oh my God. Then I don't remember how we got in there, but we get into the OR and they have to lift me from one bed to the other, but I can't fucking move. I got that epidural. So they literally have to lift me out of the bed into the other operating table. It was like so like weird feel like I don't like that feeling, Like Bonnie knows. I don't know. I just felt so like weird. And so then I'm laying on an operating table. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm about to get fucking surgery awake. I've gotten surgery one time because I broke my nose when I was like 19. I don't even know what the fuck is. I have no idea what's going on. So now I'm getting pumped with more Pitocin so you don't bleed out during surgery. I'm getting pumped with morphine. I've got an epidural. I've got an Ambien. I mean, I am like nice and drugged up. So then, I mean, I'm laying there and they make your hands go out straight because you can't touch anything. So your hands have to be out here. They put a
Like a
what's it
curtain.
called? Like a curtain, right? Like by, how a C-section looks like, right by your chest. And they are now pumping me with more epidural too. Like I could still feel things a little bit with my epidural. Like I just wanted just enough to like not be in dying pain, but I could still feel when I was having contractions. It just wasn't like crazy. I could still feel my legs if you touch them. Not anymore. They pumped so much more epidural into me because obviously you don't want to feel them cutting 7 layers of your skin open. So they pumped so much more into me. And then they were like taking this like sharp thing, touching me on my arm, going, okay, see how this feels? I'm like, yeah. And then they would touch my stomach and be like, can you feel it here? And I would have to tell them like if I could feel it or not. So they knew if I had enough epidural or not. So, and they're just like acting like it's their everyday job, which it is. So it makes sense. But I'm in there like, what the fuck? And they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, do you think, why would I be okay in this scenario? Like, I know to you guys, you do this every day, but like, I don't do this every day. And I'm like doing my breath work, breathing. And they actually were like, you're actually so calm right now. Like most people are like having a panic attack in here. I'm like, I'm like, don't worry, internally I'm having one, but like, I'm just trying to breathe. If I don't breathe, then I'll full blown look like I'm having one. But like, I'm doing my breath work. Justin's on it. They don't let Justin in there till they're already started. Like they've already started by the time they let him in here. So I'm like, I'm just fucking getting operated on. I don't know when they start because I can't feel anything. I start to feel like pressure when they pull the baby out, but like that's all I felt. And I don't even like I don't know. How long was I in there before you got there? 30 minutes?
Like 30 minutes, yeah, at
It's
least.
terrifying. Yeah. Then one of my favorite nurses though, she who I met the day before, she wasn't even supposed to be in there, but she came in and she was so sweet. She was like, God's got you. Like she was like, I loved her. She was awesome. She
Allie
kind
made
of
best friends with pretty much every person on that floor.
I loved them. So so then Justin comes in and I really start to black out now. Like I have no idea what's going on. Then Justin also watched part of the C-section. I'm like, how are you not passing out right now? Apparently they fucking literally take your intestines out and they put them to the side and then they got to put them back in. Yeah.
It
I
was unlike
thought
anything I've ever seen.
I thought
Like,
that was a rumor, but it's not.
remember we took a photo. We had a photo of because I wasn't thinking through this. I was just kind of in the
Justin had a
moment.
photo of it
And
and
so
I asked
I
him to
was taking
delete.
photos not of that, of the baby, and it was right out like right when the baby came out, and I wanted to take photos of it without in my brain for some reason like, oh, wait a minute, there's like
My
her
wife's
guts are like
uterus
right
is
there.
just cut
Yeah.
open.
And so she's going through her photos afterwards and she's like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And she
I go
sees like
delete it right now.
five or six photos, so we had to delete it all right away.
I was like, I don't want to see this.
I
Like,
was
I
like, "My
cannot.
bad. My bad. I didn't think about that." Zoom in on the baby though.
Oh my God. So just, I like could not look at these photos. So this is the part where I've had to really process the most because I like, and I might cry. Like, I don't really remember like our son's birth. And I was just on like so much like I was so out of it. Like I literally like I remember them like holding him up, but then you can't do like skin to skin right away. And you can't leave like the cord on because it's different with a C-section. So they had to cut the cord right away. And then Justin held him first, but I didn't see him until they were like I saw him through they took down the blue curtain and showed me him through like the clear one. But like I couldn't like hold him right away. And I like just remember like instead of getting to like be in the moment, I was just trying to like breathe and calm down like my anxiety. Cause then my heart rate started racing. Remember that? My heart rate went up to like
Yeah.
130.
No, like 160.
Oh.
Like you were in like zone 3, zone 4, just like laying there.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm freaking out about my heart rate. And my son's like right in front of me. But I'm like, my heart rate is like so like I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like trying to breathe. It's like calm my heart. But like of course my heart rate's high. Like I'm seeing my son for the first time too. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think they made like kind of a big deal about my heart rate. It's like, of course it's high. Like, don't scare me. But like when you're awake and you hear them talk, like they're not telling me, but you hear them being like, oh, her heart rate, her heart rate, her heart rate. And then you hear the beep, 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 like on the thing. It's like terrifying. So then you hear your heart rate or you hear, you see your heart rate on the screen and then you hear the machine beeping because your heart rate's too high. And then you hear them talking about how your heart rate's too high. And meanwhile, they're showing you your son and it's like I just like, and I'm so drugged. Like I just barely like remember. And then I like barely remember. I don't remember. I only know it from photos. Like I don't remember. Like then when they handed him to me, I remember Justin crying and I felt so bad that like I wasn't crying. Like I didn't cry right away because like I just was like, I was so out of it.
You were in like shock is what it
Yeah.
looked like. Like
Yeah.
you were there, but you were kind of just like, what in the world is happening right now?
Yeah.
And it's so like the lights, there's so many bright white lights in this room too. It's not like a conducive environment to feel like comfortable and safe. It's very like operational feeling inside there. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I remember bringing little Roman to you, and I just remember looking at your eyes. You were just like, what the fuck is happening right now? And then the
Yeah.
people behind us, the screens going off, the heart rate. It was a lot. It was a
Yeah.
very traumatizing, like for me, I can't even imagine for you. For me, it was incredibly traumatizing to experience and to like to know that you were going through that. I can't even imagine what that must have felt like. Because on my end, I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Especially if you've never gone through anything like that. You just feel so vulnerable. And then like as a man, you feel so helpless too, because like you can't do anything except be there and you know support you the best I can, but like you're just kind of watching from the sidelines, just watching your wife go through it without you really being able to step in and help and try to resolve it, you know, like I naturally would. So very humbling, very traumatic. And I didn't do any of the work, you know, so I can only imagine like what you went through. From a man's perspective, like it's probably the most humbling thing I've ever experienced in my life to witness a woman going through just that process, C-section, labor, in any of it. To see a woman go through that, it's like, oh my God. I had respect for women already. My like it's just like I am bowing down to all the mamas, all the future mamas, because it's yeah, unlike anything I could ever explain or experience. Like truly the most humbling experience ever. I'll never forget it, ever. To see what you went through and your strength and just like you rocked it. You crushed it in such a beautiful way. I know how hard it was, but like you just did so good. Uh and yeah, like I'm just forever like, wow, you're the strongest person I know by far. I'm like, I
Thank
get why
you.
women have to have children. I would have, that would have taken me out. Like 24 hours before that, I would have been like, all right, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to the promised lands. You know,
I'm
like
going to the
men
promise.
aren't supposed to give birth for a reason. We wouldn't have a species. There's no way.
Thank you, baby. Yeah, it was interesting. It was traumatizing, that's for sure. I The most traumatizing part was is not remembering him being born. Like I remember, but like like it's not how it is not a
Mhm.
full memory. And then like once he was on my chest, like I only remember that. I remember you crying. The rest of it I only remember that through photos. Like I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I remember the next thing I don't remember even getting out of there. I remember being wheeled back, like entering back into the room where my mom and sister and your mom and Allie were. And then they were crying because they saw him.
Yeah. Yeah. That was such
And
a special moment.
mm-hmm.
Kiki was cry. Everyone was crying,
I
and
know my sister
I, I
cries. It's so cute.
I will say, like I noticed like the coming to. I feel like you still got to experience it, but it was just delayed on your end. Once we
Yeah,
got back into the room, and there's
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
No, then I cried once we were back there.
yeah.
But still I don't remember
I know.
a lot of it. And then I
Hmm.
remember we had them leave the room so we could be there as a family for a little. And then they came back in. No,
Yeah,
Allie
yeah.
came
That's
in.
yeah.
I
And you were
breastfed him.
doing
He
breastfeeding.
latched on like right away. He was ready to go. He said, I'm hungry. And then our family came back in. I don't remember how long they were hanging out in there for.
Like 45 minutes.
I have no recollection. And
Then
then,
everyone was leaving, and I was like, oh, okay, what do we what do
what
we
do we
do?
do now?
I'm like, should I chat GPT this? What's our next steps here?
No, it's the trippiest feeling. Like everyone leaves and you're like, what the
Wait,
fuck?
we have a
Like,
baby?
what am I supposed to do?
What?
And then we got rolled into the post labor
Postpartum.
room or whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah. Tiny
But
room. This room was so small.
it was
Like the
so small.
smallest room. It was like half the size of the room we were in originally. And I'm like, oh my God. There's no way you could fit more than like Allie and I in there, a nurse, and maybe like one family member. Maybe. It was really, really small.
So then we kept asking because we got on you can get on a list for a suite, okay? But you don't get guaranteed because it's like if someone else gets there who's on the list and gives birth and gets the afterbirth suite, like you you just don't get it. But Justin figured out how to get it and there was one left. There's only two, but one was open somehow. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus.
I'm like,
Christ himself
at
for that
least give
suite.
this woman the suite. At least, I mean,
Somebody
let
please
one
just give me
thing
the
go
fucking
according to plan here.
That was just literally Jesus Christ himself blessing me with a suite. Like I felt so blessed to have that suite available. Like at least something worked, you know. I'm just kidding. There was so much that worked.
Thank God
But
we got that too, because we had a lot of with all the traffic coming through. It was so nice to have the space.
I know, yeah, like both of our moms and my sister were there basically like every day, which was super nice. Then we get in the suite. Everything's so blurry. Like I don't remember how, I didn't go to sleep that night. Like so at this point I'm up for what's 3 days? 72 hours,
72
48,
hours,
72
yeah.
hours straight. I'm texting people he's born. I don't remember texting anyone. I don't remember what I said. I don't remember anything. Um then the next morning, I remember I had to like get up for the first time and my legs still felt kind of numb. And my ankles were so fucking swollen from all the fluids. I was like, what the fuck? I was just fucked. Like, I felt like I might as well have gotten hit by a bus. Like, I felt so fucked. And then I
You felt
felt, and then,
somewhat good the next day, remember? Because you found out that you were on morphine middle of the day. It was that evening when you started feeling like super bad. Because you were like, man, I don't even feel like I had too much surgery right now. Like you had this massive scar, just went crazy surgery. And you're telling the nurse, you're like, yeah, I don't know. I have like a really high pain tolerance. She's like, well, sweetheart, you're also on morphine.
yeah, she's like, bitch, you're on morphine. I'm over here thinking I'm like some elite, like,
She's
I
like,
don't
just
have
wait.
C-section pain.
Like, this is pretty easy.
She's like, yeah, you're on morphine, sweetie. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that
So just
checks
give it a few
out.
hours. And then a few hours came and Allie was like, okay, I understand now.
I was like, fuck. Then they started giving me an
Hydrocodone.
opioid,
Hydrocodone,
hydrocodone,
yeah. And then like ibuprofen and
which I want to get off the hydrocodone right away because that causes also depression. So I was like, fuck this. So then I was just like, I was on that for maybe the whole time in the hospital I was on that, but then when I got home, I didn't even take it. I was like, I don't want to take this. But yeah, it was so weird. And then I had to stay in the hospital longer because my blood pressure was still high. But I was stressed about my blood pressure being high. So then every time, now I have blood pressure trauma. Every time they take it, like now I'm just like stressed. So we just stay 2 extra days. That reflection, high blood pressure for me, the reflection is just I have incredibly high functioning anxiety. And so I can function really well, but I have very high anxiety that comes with it. And I need to not live like that anymore in the career area of life and financial area of life. So, and because I could, in those areas, I can calm it down. But when it's something new like this, like the reflection comes back up. So, anyway, that's my high blood pressure reflection, which we can do a part 2 of this and get into all the reflections of this. But yeah, basically to sum it up, because I know people have a lot of questions because they're going to be like, you worked so hard to not have to have any of these. I thought you were in a match to a section. I wasn't until, the time comes and then you start to hear about it and then you start to get emotional and then your emotions change and then you start to be a match to the emotion of it. Like feeling like C-section is like feeling like you need other people's help to get what you want, emotional root cause in some area of life. And so, of course, at some point, I felt like I needed a C-section to get what I wanted, which was my child. So, like, of course, at some point in that, your emotions shift and you become a match. If I didn't have to get induced, if I was able to go through it naturally, I don't think I would have started to feel that way because I would have dilated naturally. But after all of that and still to not be dilated at all, like, of course, you're going to start to have the emotion of I need help to get what I want, the outcome I want here. So then, of course, your emotions go up. You make yourself a match to the thing. And again, the main thing that like kind of domino affected all of this was me, which I don't think I was supposed to at all, and I don't have regrets. I really don't. And I don't have like, I should have done this, but it was me not listening to my initial intuition in the beginning with the blood pressure. Like I literally would have been fine. Like he wouldn't have been in there much longer. I literally would have been fine. I would have gone into labor naturally. Maybe I still would have had the high blood pressure reflection. I think I would have, but it wouldn't have like done anything more because I wasn't a match to like organ failure and I wasn't a match to like, you know what I mean? Like match to high blood pressure, yes. Which I've been wanting to shift. And not that I had high blood pressure before, but I do have extremely like high functioning anxiety with a lot of things where my anxiety is why I get a lot done. Like it doesn't paralyze me. It actually makes me do a lot of things, but it's not from a balanced place. And I've been knowing I have to heal that and shift it, but there hasn't been like, I'm just kind of like, oh, well, whatever. Like I've dealt with it. Like I highly function. Like I've dealt with it before. Like it doesn't bother me. I know how to deal. But because like new things were coming up, like, oh my God, I'm going to be a mom, like all these other things to be anxious about. Like I didn't know how to deal with that in my head when I've trained myself how to deal with anxiety around career or financial things or whatever. I obviously didn't deal with it properly. And then that made me a match for like high blood pressure stuff. And then that then caused the whole situation where I just like didn't listen. Everyone was telling me yes. My intuition was telling me no, and I just like didn't listen, which is a whole new level of like if you're gonna go create anything in the world, like if I'm out here talking about energetic Botox and how you can like not have wrinkles by using your mind, like I have to know a million people are gonna be like, you're a fucking crazy psychopath, and I have to be like, no, I'm right. And so it's like it was a part of training myself or anyone in that situation to like really listen to themselves. Or like I just have a feeling something will happen with the clothing brand or something will come up where everyone's going to be telling me one way and my intuition's going to be telling me another, and like it'll be higher stakes and I'll need to like listen to myself, so I just feel like that was preparing me to listen to myself, which again I didn't expect myself to in that scenario anyway. I truly think anyone, unless you're like Jesus Christ himself or someone who's really non-emotional, would have done that. Like there was no scenario where I can imagine like not listening to them in that scenario, because it was just like someone else's life involved and a bunch of other things. So, and then once you're in that scenario, then you start to become an emotional match to all the things that I worked to not be an emotional match for, because I was a match for short labor. I was not a match to a C-section, and I kept checking in all the time. And but when you then open up that door and now your emotions start to get high, you start to just make yourself a match again. Like you then feel like you need help to get the thing done. Like I felt like I needed help to get the baby out of me. And so that would make me a match for a C-section. Yeah, it like just opens the floodgates for all of those things. So going back, not that I would change it, but if I were to do this again, I definitely have learned to make sure I'm not a match to high blood pressure, which I didn't really think about before. And I definitely would... I have some training to do on my emotions in those high emotional scenarios. Like I have some emotional mastery to do there. So if I were to do this again, I told Justin in the middle of giving birth, I was like, next time we're getting a high frequency surrogate. Like, I'm not doing this again. But I didn't mean it. Like, I do want to give birth again at some point, but I'm a little bit not yet. Definitely not yet. Definitely not yet. But you can't even get pregnant for a while after a C-section anyway. But anyway, next time I will check if I'm matched to high blood pressure, obviously. And I also will have a whole new level of emotional mastery be developed as well. That is my takeaway. Do you have any takeaways from that?
Mm, no, it was a hell of a learning experience for me and to see like well, I was gonna ask you those exact questions. Like, is there anything that you would have done differently? And like, what's your number one piece of advice for anyone that's pregnant now, uh, or gonna be pregnant in the future to stay on the path with that? But you answered all of that. But yeah, just this is I don't know how many men listen to this, but this is why it's so important to treat women, with a lot of respect and honor because they bring life into this world and it's no joke. And yeah, it's just a very again humbling experience for a man to go through, and I'm just honored to have been a part of it, truly. So thank you for bringing our baby boy into this world. It's the greatest gift ever.
Thank you for being there. Justin did so good. He supported me so much. I didn't know that he was anxious at all. He did so good at just staying calm and just
I was tripping out pretty hard.
I would not have been able to tell. Like, you were very calm and like grounded. You did very good. One thing about me and Justin is we're both like hypochondriacs. So if it weren't for intuition, I would think so many things are wrong with me when they're not, like health wise. Thank God for intuition.
If you
But
came
we're
into our
both.
pantry, you'd literally find probably 300 supplements. We had to throw out so many, they were expired. I went through a severe hypochondriac season like back in 2020. And Kiki, she's working here now. And I was like, yeah, let's throw away like anything that's expired. She had like a bucket full of supplements that I bought. That just kind of gives you some insight to how Al and I are. We'll
These
see
are
something, we'll be like, oh yeah, that we probably have that. Let's buy the supplement that's going to help work with that. Intuition, Ali teaching me intuition's helped me a lot with, okay, maybe I don't need to buy all these supplements. Maybe I need to start with myself first. My emotions.
Oh my God. It's one of us, it's either Justin's crashing out or I'm about something. Like one of us has to be like, you're fine. And then one other person's like just on a fucking spiral.
The
But
law
yeah, the
of
high,
balance happens a lot with us with that,
yeah,
with hypochondriac.
yeah, it does. Like he'll be freaking out. I'm like, you're literally fine. And then I'll be freaking out. Um, but it is interesting. Yeah, the high blood pressure definitely has freaked me out. I just don't like something being off with my body. And then when I tested like last week, I just felt so fucked with all the drugs and the detoxing it, all of it, and like you only detox so much because you can't get in a sauna yet, and then you can't take all supplements yet because of breastfeeding. You can only do so much to start to detox stuff out of your body. And when I tested the level of toxins in my body, it was like 97%. I was like, oh, good. So then that freaks me out. And then, yeah. But I had a lot of I've been doing good at processing this. What I've been doing to process is I just say the story out loud or I tell as many people as possible and then I like process through it. And then also I just cry about it. Also, I was telling Roman the story. Well, I didn't tell you this, baby. When I got to the part of the C-section, he was sleeping. He woke up screaming and then went back to sleep.
Hold on. What happened?
I told Roman his birth story so he could process the trauma that he went through in it with like
Yeah.
his heart rate. When I got to the C-section part, he was sleeping this whole time I was telling him. When I got to the C-section part, he woke up and started crying and
Whoa.
then went back to sleep. Isn't that wild?
Whoa. That
I
is
know.
wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's traumatic for him too, because he's like
For
having these
sure.
contractions for like so long.
Yeah.
And of course his heart was dropping. Like the second you get medicated, I'm like, of course their heart rate's dropping. It's
Yeah.
they're full of medication that they're not supposed to like have in there. And then I got my placenta pills, which then I never took because I originally intuitively got to take them and to get them. But then remember I got them, I was like, I don't know, something feels so weird about taking these.
Hmm.
And then even when the midwife was like, no, it's different, like you can take it still, even though the high blood pressure, the preeclampsia comes from your body like rejecting your placenta or whatever. So then I was like, that's kind of weird to put it back in me. But then the midwife was like, no, it's two different things. But then I was like, no, it still feels weird to take this. And I was like, oh my God, it's from all the medicine that got pumped into my fucking placenta at the end. Like I'm just putting it back in my body. So now I just don't even take them. Um,
I wouldn't either though. That like it makes sense what you're
it
saying.
makes sense to not take
Yeah.
those now. Yeah. Makes
I
sense
have
to
a
take them if it's fine.
question for you, baby. Like on the uncertainty piece, I asked this because I work with this a lot myself too, and maybe people going through pregnancy as well. Like there's a lot of uncertainty with like you don't really have control. Like you feel like you're kind of losing control in those just being pregnant, right? But for just that in general, like what are the ingredients to when you feel like that uncertainty or feeling like you're not into control to come back to like either yeah feeling more in control or being okay with the uncertainty or not having the control, like what's the ingredients around that?
Yeah, I would ask, like, what am I actually anxious about? Because, so for example, like, you know how with planes, like, I share this analogy all the time, but like, I freak out on a plane, but I'm not actually scared of the plane. It's a reflection. I think that's the same thing. Like, I'll get really anxious of like, oh my God, what if Roman just like stops breathing? Like, cause you know how babies like don't know how to breathe and they like have to remember to breathe. So like, I'll freak out of like, oh my God, what if he stops breathing? Like, and I start to spiral. I'm like, is that an actual, like, am I actually worried about that? Or is my worry manifesting into that? But my actual worry is like somewhere else. So
Hmm.
when I look at that with my intuition, my actual worry is like, and breathing is specific too, because I could be worried he'd fall or I could be worried he'd something else, but I'm like, it's specifically breathing. So like lungs is like being able to like fully express yourself and fully like take in life. And so it's actually a fear that I won't be able to fully like express myself and take in life and feeling like a certain area of life is like killing me basically.
Mm.
But it manifests into me worried about him stopping breathing, even though I know intuitively like that it's not like a thing.
I see.
Does that answer like so
Yeah, that
how
was
I would
good.
do that? Like I wouldn't, because in my opinion you can definitely just work with the feeling that's coming up, but the feeling that's coming up is a lot of times your higher self trying to communicate a different thing with you. Like it's a different actual problem. So you can work with that problem, but then if you don't solve the root problem, it will
Yeah.
manifest into like somewhere else.
You just keep getting it until you actually go back to the root, the source of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So that's what I would do. Or like I should have also not should have, because I really am happy how it went because I learned so much. And I think if I would have gone through like a really good birth, my first birth, like who the fuck wants to like hear about that? You know what I mean? Like who wants to be like, oh, her first birth was just great. She didn't have to do anything, you know? So I think like now I have some street cred a little bit. So I want to go back and change it. But train of thought, what was I talking about? Oh, what I also would do differently next time is that I definitely did not fully come to terms with loving the worst case scenario. Like I definitely did
Mm.
not was not excited to get at the thought of getting a C-section. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
also didn't make peace with like my own personal worst case scenario. like I always say to do. And I didn't, I like was like freaky. It was like scary for me to like even think about the worst case
You were
scenario.
leaning more towards like the best case scenarios and not giving enough weight to balance it out with the worst case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was putting too much like pressure on it.
Hmm.
Also
Hmm.
because like I was talking about it and I tried to not talk about my birth plan too much, but I did because I was trying to teach some stuff on what I was doing. But like because I was saying like, oh yeah, I'm working to not be a match to a C-section. I'm working on this, like then I put this pressure on myself of like, well fuck, like now I have to do this because I just told everyone, which I knew I shouldn't have done, but I wanted to like talk about it and teach it. But that's something with manifesting you shouldn't do either, is like before it happens, you shouldn't like say what you're doing
Hmm.
because you'll put too much pressure then of like, oh shit, I just told everyone this. Like I have to do this now.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but like I said, those things I did work really hard to not be a match for. But then once you're like, once the floodgates open and you're in it, and you don't have like high levels of emotional mastery with your worst fears, you're going to make yourself a match now because your emotions are now skyrocketing. You can go from a 20% match to a 90% match in a matter of minutes if your emotions
Hmm.
go there.
Would you say a good tip too is like to go if you are pregnant or going to be pregnant to go to the absolute darkest, worst case scenario possible and just make pure peace with it?
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. For sure. Which is like scary to do
It is.
when you're
Yeah.
pregnant. Like, if it's like with a business or with money or whatever, it's like
Hmm.
whatever. But like when it's like
Hmm.
some another life or another thing,
Yeah.
it's a whole different.
Yeah.
It was a whole different thing I've never done before.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I would definitely also recommend that. And knowing that like if something happens where you start to get emotional, like no matter how many months of work you did to keep your emotions down with something, the second you get emotional and you have
Mm.
level 10 emotions come up, like you're, it's fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 40 weeks of just like things going pretty much perfect for you in a lot of ways, compared to like other stories I hear. And then just one instance within 48 hours, like that resonance just changed the whole trajectory of everything.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what feeling also came up that I was a match for was, oh my God, all this hard work to then
Uh-huh.
have to eat shit, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Which,
it seemed like there was like the unfair reflection seemed like it also came in once that happened as well.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yep. Yeah. I have this like thing since like childhood and it will come up in random different places, but like, oh my God, I work so hard and it's just unfair that someone who didn't even think of looking at emotional root causes got to give vaginal birth and I didn't, you know? So
Yeah.
that I was a match for that too. There were things I was a match for that even though individually I wasn't a match to long labor, I wasn't a match to a C-section, there were overarching things I was a match for that overrode the other things I wasn't a match for, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And then it makes you a match because then your emotions get high and then you are a match to those things. Yeah. So next time, obviously I'll check if I'm a match to high blood pressure, clearly. Um, make total peace with worst case scenario.
Mm.
Not talk about the birth plan at all until after. And then like just insane emotional mastery in level 10 emotional scenarios. What I'll be working on.
For the mamas out there too, what advice would you give to their husbands to take their partners through a process like this too? And just like how can they be there for them in the most effective way?
um I don't know, whatever you did. You were really good at it. Like just staying like grounded and like not adding to the anxiety, like not like adding to the chaos or the like Justin just stayed really grounded the whole time and like yeah, and calm and Maybe you weren't calm internally, but
I saw a comment said on the outside, maybe.
yeah, on the outside. Yeah, don't complain about how uncomfortable the couch and the labor and delivery
Yeah,
is.
don't complain about anything. For that, that's let me just throw that rule in there. Your complaints don't count for like the next 6 months is kind of
No, they don't
my
count.
philosophy. Her needs come first above all else. That's what my mentor told me, and I am like trying to live by that more than anything. It's like it's a top down approach. If mom is taken care of, baby's taken care of. And through the
Mm-hmm.
labor process, just like, yeah, regardless of what you're feeling, just be present, be grounded as much as you can.
Yeah.
Be there without trying to give like they don't really, advice doesn't really matter. It's like breathe with them. That's like the most beautiful words you can bring your partner.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah,
I'm
there were
here.
contractions where you were like breathing with me. That was
Hmm.
good. Yep. Would you have anything?
That's kind of what I said. Just like, there's no fixing in these scenarios. There's not many solutions. Usually if you're like a guy that can use your magician and come in and make something work, it's like you're now in an environment. And I'm sure it doesn't even matter how many kids you have. Like every delivery is going to be different. You're now part of something that is very foreign to you. And so just being there and understanding, having empathy that like you're not really in control, you don't really have power, and that your wife's going through something you'll never be able to fully comprehend, and you just like bringing that into your system and transmuting that back to just like understanding and love to her in whatever way that looks like, through breath, through just like I got you, through rubbing her, whatever it is, just being there for her in those moments, I think is like the biggest piece of advice I would get. To not talk as much as you think you want to talk. It's she probably doesn't want you to talk as much as you think she wants you to talk. I'll just say that.
Don't chew gum. Justin knew.
Don't chew
He
gum. That's
said
so
no
funny. We saw
gum
that Instagram
today.
video. This woman's in like a pure contraction. I don't know if y'all have seen this. She's over there and she's like going through contraction. She stops mid contraction. She looks at her husband. Are you chewing gum? And her husband's not even chewing gum. He's like, no, no, I swear I'm not chewing gum. And you can hear like the dude in the background. No one's chewing gum, right? No
Yeah, the
one's
girl's like, no
chewing
one's chewing gum,
gum.
are they?
And that's real. That's like very real. Don't do anything. Like if you think there's a slight chance it could trigger, take it out. It can wait. Hashtag it can wait. Trust me.
My whole pregnancy, if Justin chewed gum, I'd be like, please stop chewing gum around
Oh
me.
my God. Eating, breathing, pretty much just living was a problem for.
It was the chewing, man. Oh my God. And it was only Justin chewing, or also Nikki. When Nikki would come visit us, Nikki Moriarty, guy Nikki, not sister Nikki, when he would come visit us and he would, I was like, oh my God.
Any
Maybe it's just
man.
men chewing. Yeah, I don't know.
Nikki has this things where he like, those people when they get done chewing something and they like suck through their teeth, like that's like Nikki does this to an extreme to where it's like this loud. He's trying to like, I don't know what he's doing. I'm like, does that actually work? But it's so loud. And I remember he came over and was doing that around Holly, and Holly just lost it. And I felt so understood by another man.
I like can't. I'm like eating dinner with both of them. I'd be like, oh my God.
This is a nightmare.
Yeah, so Justin got a Listerine like strips instead of gum. It's like smart man. Smart man. Well, that was my birth story. And everyone has been eagerly waiting. I've definitely processed it a lot more now. I don't feel really the only part I cry at now is the part I cried at today. And again, I know that's not the worst thing that could have happened. I am aware. I'm aware. Everyone's healthy and that's what matters. I am aware. I just wanted to share that with you guys and share all the authentic emotions that came up. And I really truly wouldn't change it because I learned so much and I feel like I have so much street cred now of like I can hopefully now know also like there were just things I wouldn't have known to look for, like I knew I didn't the C-section, I knew I wanted a quicker labor, so I looked for that. Like, I didn't think to look for all these other things if I was going to be a match for them or not. So now I can add that to my tool belt, and we'll see what happens with the next birth. I don't know. Stay tuned.
Patrice said next baby's going to be a piece of cake. I agree.
That's what Justin
I
says.
think it'll be like the easiest delivery ever.
Yeah.
But still, go through everything you said earlier. Don't jinx it.
Yeah. I'm just going to prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't bet on it. Yeah, I did. I learned a lot, and yes, I'm happy to share that with everyone, and all the reflections that came with it. Do you have anything else to say?
No, this was fun. Good hanging out with you guys.
I know we've been here for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we will talk to you guys on. Well, I will talk to you on the next podcast. We can bring Jesse back anytime. And maybe we'll do a part 2 where I dissect the reflections a little more, but we're already like 2 hours in, so I'll leave you with this. We'll get to a part we can dissect reflections a little more in the next one. Okay, bye.